following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello, I'm Carl Seidel, host of The People's View. The People's View is a show sponsored by the Nashua Republican City Committee. The committee meets every second Thursday at the Crown Plaza. And if you want to contact us, we have a website, nashuagop.org. And at the end of the show, you'll see some contact phone numbers or email addresses that you may want to send us your comments and recommendations. Thank you for listening in.
Welcome to The People's View, a program dedicated to discussing local, state, and national issues and their effect on the American people. The People's View provides a platform for state representatives and national figures to present their viewpoint. Whether it's social, economic, or financial topics, you'll hear it on The People's View.
Hello, and today we welcome Senator Scott Brown. Senator Brown, happy to see you, and I know you're one of the busier people out there. You're going around all over the place, and coming from the peddler's daughter, too, today.
Well, yeah, we just said my daughter got married yesterday, so a little stressful leading up to yesterday, but feel kind of a sense of relief. Here, if I may, just for a minute, so the wedding's going great. Everyone's having fun, and then right before it was over, I said to my new son-in-law, I said, so listen, your bags, your bag, Ariana's bag, your duffel bag are in the car, ready to go, so you just go. And then Ariana says, well, where's my bag? I said, well, what bag? I was only responsible for 3 bags. She says, well, my bag with all the passports and our wallets in it. I said, honey, I'm sorry. So we spent the last hour after they allegedly left to the airport trying to locate her bag, which was in the makeup artist's car, which was down in Marshfield, Massachusetts. And it's like, oh, my Lord.
Gosh.
So it was pretty stressful. But she's made the plane, and my other daughter, I just put her in a plane. So everyone's so we're getting a little bit more balanced. So I appreciate the opportunity to come in.
Well, good. We'll welcome you here. You're one of the busier people here.
Yeah.
I mean, your campaign is watched by everybody, not only in the state, but across the country.
Yep.
And you have 2 opponents who are giving you a run a little bit for that, for the office. Can you tell me what, in your mind, is the 3 most major issues and where you stand and how you differentiate yourself from your...
Well, first of all, the 3 major issues without even blinking are Obamacare, the Obamacare rollout, the fact that people in New Hampshire have lost their health insurance, and now the health insurance that they're getting, if they've gotten lucky enough to get on insurance, their plan has gone down, their costs have gone up, their deductibles have gone up, and here's the challenge. After the election, the business mandate's coming in, so a lot of businesses are being dramatically affected by this. And as you know, Senator Shaheen was the deciding vote and voted against every grandfathering amendment to protect people's health plans, their doctors, their nurses, and the like. I voted to repeal it. I would vote to repeal it again. It's the #1 issue affecting businesses because it has 18 new taxes in it, $750 billion cut from our seniors' Medicare. I don't know what Bob and Jim's positions are specifically, but I would suspect that they are in favor of obviously addressing the #1 issue in the country when it affects businesses and individuals. The next thing is energy. Energy's out of control. I have some fear we're going to have some brownouts and potentially some real problems this winter. As you know, I just paid, well, you don't know this, but I paid $65 to fill up the truck over the winter, $750 to $850 to fill up the oil tank. Energy prices are not going down. As you know, when President Senator Shaheen took office, they were about $1.90, $1.80, $1.90. At $3.72, I think I paid this morning. Senator Shaheen's proposing a national energy tax. She's in favor of raising gas taxes on our citizens and in the country. And that's not good for people, because what does that mean? It means they're putting less into their retirement. It means they're putting less into their child's education and less money to actually just take care of the family. Once again, I've always been very consistent on that issue, and I'll focus on my positions and let Jim and Bob speak on their own. The third thing is the gridlock in Washington. People are disgusted by what's happening down there. They're not talking, they're not working, and as a result, you see the lowest ratings for the members of Congress. You have a completely dysfunctional body. The Senate is the greatest deliberative body in the world, I believe. And you have people, Harry Reid in particular, who don't bring up bills, don't allow for discussion, don't allow for the ordinary process to go forward. And as a result, you have someone, once again, like Senator Shaheen, who votes 99 last year, 100% the year before with the president and his failed policies on energy, on foreign policy, what's happening in Iraq, on our border crisis. I mean, her rubber stamp of those policies is a direct result of her being there as his #1 foot soldier. Now, I'm a problem solver. I've gone down there, as you know, we passed the Hire a Hero Veterans Bill to allow our veterans to get jobs and our employees to get a tax refund to hire, the insider trading bill, the crowdfunding bill, the Arlington Cemetery bill. I'm down there to say, hey, listen, let's find some type of balance, some type of solution, to draw a line when we need to, but put our country's interests before our personal, petty, partisan interests. And I think, quite frankly, I think our country and our state are looking for problem solvers because they already have a rubber stamp. Now they want an independent voice, and then I'm that guy.
I kind of agree with you there. But if you're still stuck with Harry Reid, you're going to have a problem. Hopefully you
see, here's the beauty of it. And people, you and I talked a little bit about it off camera, say, well, you know, I don't agree with Scott and everything. That's fine. My wife, I agree with my wife, but that's about it 100% of the time. But let's say we agree 80% of the time. Well, Senator Shaheen votes against you 99 to 100% of the time. So using President Reagan's philosophy, rather be your 70 or 80% friend than your 100% enemy. And you want to, and if you want to complain, folks, imagine waking up the day after the election and noting that Harry Reid's not the majority leader, but the minority leader. And what does that mean? It means that we take all those bills on his desk and we put them on the president's desk. The bills that deal with our debt, deficit, taxes, spending, jobs, national security, energy, foreign policy. Put them on the president's desk and let him veto them. We'll let him pass them so we can at least get the ordinary course, the ordinary debate in the United States Senate back. Go through the usual processes that the Senate has relied on for generations. And I think he's the biggest problem down there. And once again, here's an interesting point that your viewers may not know. Harry Reid only votes 90% with the president. Senator Shaheen votes 99% with the president. Remember when she would criticize Senator Sununu? He votes with 90% with President Bush, and therefore he can't be that independent voice. I'll be that independent voice. Well, guess what? She's not that independent voice. She's that rubber stamp. Nice person. I've worked with her. This isn't about personality. This is about actually knowing her record since she's gone down to Washington and become
what her philosophy
a Washington
is.
insider.
But they're trying to demonize the Republicans right now by saying it's being held up in the House. But it's these bills that are sitting in the Senate.
There's over almost 300 bills on Harry Reid's desk.
Is it that many?
I mean, you see when you pass a bill on the veterans issues, for example, which we're doing our veterans tour right now, obviously thanking our veterans and focusing on veterans issues once again. But even the veterans bills that are addressing some of the VA, they take forever to come forward. And when they come forward, the leader doesn't offer amendments. So apparently he's the only one that knows what's right for our country. Everybody should play an input and play a role in that process. We all have the same vote, and that's the problem with the United States Senate. And unfortunately, you have people like Senator Shaheen who just rubber stamp, just come in and look, how do I vote, up or down, and that's it. It's unfortunate.
The media is going to help, is helping them out too. I mean, you got to fight that as well as.
Well, we have you, Carl. You're going to be going at it with them.
You want to get the publicity out. I think that's one of the main things. We have problems with getting it out for the local people. I don't think you have problems getting your face on TV or anything like that, but they do turn your words around.
No. No. Listen, the media, it is what it is. Everyone kind of expects, a certain type of treatment. I've always said, just report the facts. If I do well, report it. If I screw up, report it. But the editorializing and misrepresenting, it's potentially a problem. We don't focus on that too much. We'll get our message out because guess what? We're going door to door. We're going to county fairs, parades, businesses,
and that's what we
individuals.
Need
I love retail politics. I love looking at people in the eye.
And this is the state for it.
In the eye. Well, the thing I love about our state is, and I thought it was not true. You will go into somebody and say, hey, what do you think about Scott Brown? He's a nice guy. I met him, 2 or 3 times. Well, can he count on your vote? Well, not yet. I need to see him a couple more times. And it's true, and that's what we've done, and we've taken that to heart, and we're honored to get the support, all the rollouts of supporters and and friends and people that are helping. It's just over. The intensity level is fantastic.
And the people, once they get involved, they really love it.
They love it. Well, we have fun. We try to have, we try to smile. We try to have some fun. We keep a sense of humor. We recognize that it's an important election that could determine the fate of, obviously where we go as a country, and especially with the Senate, as you referenced, focusing on the economic issues versus, the divisive issues. And I believe we have a good plan. We have a bunch of great people. People want to get involved. They can go to scottbrown.com and certainly help. We'd love to have you, and we'll see where it takes us.
You brought up the Obamacare thing and the repeal. Obviously, even if you get it voted through both houses, the president's going to veto it, and I don't think you'll be able to get it.
Well, it depends on how many people we have in this next election cycle coming into the House and coming into the Senate, because I know there are good Democrats who are having the same problems in their states as we are in this state and as we are throughout the country. They want you to think, the Democrats and the people in Washington, the president and everybody, that Obamacare is the only answer. It's the only answer. It's the greatest bill in the world, apparently. I have to respectfully disagree. I believe the states can do it better. We can do it more efficiently. Because what you're seeing with the VA right now, that's a government-run program.
That's right.
How about Obamacare? It's going to be very similar. It's a mess right now. The rollout's a mess. The numbers that we see right now in terms of people having to pay more, getting lesser of a plan. I could spend another hour and a half, 2 hours talking about the stories that we've heard of these families that are getting devastated. And we have some very real challenges, and we have to fix it. And once again, you have somebody here in New Hampshire where it all started, remember, in 2009 at, I think, Portsmouth High School, where you can keep your doctor, you can keep your health insurance, you can keep your hospital. You're going to get a check for $2,500. Well, guess what? You're not. We've had a trail of broken promises, and it's time to hold those responsible accountable.
And the bureaucrats that are involved in the Obamacare, I think the people don't appreciate how much was written into that law that allows them to change certain circumstances.
Well, look what happens. The president's has used the executive order many, many times, I believe, against the authority allowed per the law and per the Constitution. And as you know, he pushed the business mandate in, ironically, after the election. Obviously, it's for political purposes. If you speak to any businesses, they're starting to get their notices. Their insurance premiums have gone up 20, 30, 40%. We had one woman, I think her policy was going up over 70%. And we have other families that are losing the coverage that their autistic son and brother were getting, just putting them into complete turmoil. We deserve better.
I think that there's a number of things in there that are still really not uncovered. I mean, they talked about this, the addition of the contraceptives and abortifactants was added by the bureaucracy. It wasn't in the bill per se, but it was allowed because it was whatever committee it was that had to formulate some of that.
Well, look at any of the committee, any of the entities in Washington. They're regulators regulating the regulators. Now you have these unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats circumventing the laws of Congress, doing things that I, quite frankly, don't agree with. You have the IRS, park rangers, NOAA, which deals with fishing. You have SWAT teams. A lot of our rights and privileges are being chipped away. And people say, Scott, why are you running? I'm running because I care about New Hampshire. I care about our country. I'm a patriot, and I want to make sure that it's better for my child who's just gotten married and my potential grandchildren and everyone else's. Because guess what? We're in a $17 trillion national debt, and their answer is to spend more of our money, to tax people more, to spend more, instead of looking at themselves in the mirror and recognizing we've got to get our fiscal and financial house in order, and they're not doing that. And to have rubber stamps down there not acting as a check and balance is wrong. And we need a check and balance right now in New Hampshire. We need check and balances in this country, or we're going to go down a path I don't think is a good path.
Let's talk about immigration a little bit. You brought up something that keyed in this new bill. He wants almost $4 billion to take care of these children that are coming up here and everything. Is there another solution to that? You said all they want to do is spend money, and I know some of the bills that go through have so much pork in them that you're spending more on pork than you're spending on.
Well, let's start at the root of the problem. President Obama and Senator Shaheen have supported amnesty, porous borders. They're not basically following the law. And administering our laws. We are a nation of laws. We're also a compassionate nation. That being said, it's clear that we need to make sure that the children in particular that are coming here are safe. They're safe, and that they're well fed and they're taken care of. Obviously, we're a compassionate group, but Senator Shaheen's looking to give them all amnesty. She has said that they should stay. She said that today. I respectfully disagree. We already have mechanisms in place. If people feel that they're being persecuted, they can go through channels to seek asylum and get recognitions and safeties provided by our country. To just say, oh, come on over to the border and we'll let you all in and give you amnesty and start shipping you around the country is not how we do it. We need to close the border, period. And we need to, secure and make sure the kids are safe. And then we need to put them back, get them back to their own home country, and then work with those countries if there is an issue to work through the legal mechanisms to get them safe through the embassy or whatever mechanisms in place in that particular country. But to have an incentive here where the president has done through the DREAM Act, where he put all these kids ahead of the 4.6 million, give or take, people who have been following our laws and doing it the right way, it sends a terrible message where, hey, just come on over. If you're a kid, just come on over. You're going to be okay. And that's not right.
I agree
That's
with
a
you
big
there.
difference between Senator Shaheen and me.
Well, one of the things that I always wondered about, nobody's paying attention to the process of making them legal. The routine, what we have now, takes 10 to 15 years before they get their
2, 3, 5, 7, 10 years in some instances, 4.6 million, give or take, going through the process. Yeah, it's broken. What is it? More computers, more judge. What do you need? We held hearings.
Is there any reason?
You should fast track it and do it in a short 90 days, 120 days.
If you have something, you take away.
Get it in place. Let them come in legally. Happy to have them. Happy to have them. When we have students who come here from out of the country, give them a diploma and an ability to stay here and work.
That's right.
Happy to do it. Happy. Love to have the kids.
Yeah, the ones that come over here really have a desire for education and the top-notch.
Best of the best. Bring them. More the merrier. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Well,
let's do it legally.
That's right. That's right. So, do you think that would ever stand with the Republican Senate?
Yeah, of course. I believe that there is a consensus that Republicans want legal immigration.
Right.
It's a question of how we get there.
Yeah.
Securing the border is the first thing, not providing amnesty or DREAM Act opportunities for people who are here illegally before the people that are doing it legally. Having a mechanism to process those people quicker and more effectively, and provide opportunities to, have kids go to school and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Do you think there's any hope of slimming down our government?
Well, gosh, it's interesting you say that. I was joking with my wife the other day. We were talking, I think we heard the president say, we a lot of good job growth and job numbers up, and we kind of chuckled. Yeah, you have regulators regulating the regulators. You have more government employees. We need to do that. Here's the problem. We need to do that top to bottom review. You just saw that there were overpayments, waste, fraud, and abuse of $105 billion. Now, they're talking about raising our gas taxes. Senator Shaheen wants to have a national energy tax. How about taking the money that's just being wasted on a daily basis and fixing it? Don't you think? I mean, really? I mean, we do it in our households. You do it in your businesses. Let's do it in the United States government. Don't come to me and others and say, hey, we need more money. No, you don't. You got to fix it first. Come to us last, fix it first. And she has not supported those initiatives. As you know, she voted for the stimulus bill. I never would have voted for that. It didn't create one new net job. Unemployment right now, while better in our state, we're losing middle class, hard, high-paying jobs. Keystone Pipeline, a great opportunity to get those jobs. She's against it. I'm for it. And we could go on and on and on.
That Keystone Pipeline is being, they're also building a pipeline west to ship it over to China and
we have a choice. We have a choice. We can actually develop a relationship north-south with our greatest trading partner and create good non-union jobs and union jobs. I'm surprised, quite honestly, that our union brothers and sisters are not more outraged at that and hold her accountable for that vote. And the same with health care. Because of her vote on Obamacare, their health care premiums are going up 20, 30, 40%. Those so-called Cadillac plans are going to cost them more to have if they have them at all. So she consistently votes against unions on these issues, yet there's still many of the leadership, at least, the brothers and sisters in the ranks seem to be more open to coming over because they recognize that, I care about business. I care about them putting money in their pocketbooks and wallets. So, yeah, there's a lot of things we can do to step back from our dependence of foreign oil to paying money to countries that want to kill us and change our way of life. But she's so in tight with, Tom Steyer and these ultra-left environmentalists that, she can't support any of these initiatives.
Yeah. Again, there's people that are saying that you're being supported by some multimillionaires, but they're being supported by more.
Yeah. Listen, I get support like President Obama, like Governor Romney, like Senator Shaheen. We all have support from all different groups. But to think that I'm not an independent voter and thinker, the facts just don't warrant that. I just evidenced on the few bills that I told you about, making sure that senators and administration officials don't use insider information to trade and become wealthy. Worked on that, passed it, passed overwhelmingly. I was at the signing ceremony for it. Felt very strongly the ability to get our veterans jobs who are homeless and our employers an opportunity to hire those people and get some type of tax break. Yeah, those are the things that I'm working on.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of things on your mind.
Yeah, I have a lot
when
of
you
things
get in
on my
there,
mind.
you're a little anxious to get going.
We're getting going. We're up at 5. We're in bed at 11, 12 at night, working hard. My wife has been wonderful. Just had our 28th anniversary a couple of days ago, and I'm blessed to have just a wonderful family, and they're all in. And I'm equally blessed to have just such great people, activists all the way up to Senator Ayotte, Governor Sununu, Jeb Bradley, Chuck Morris, Charlie Bass, from the person who's working their hardest say, I can't give you any money, but God, I'm going to work 20, 30, 40 hours for you, versus the other one says, listen, I have a business to run, I can't do that, but here's some money to go do it. So yeah, we're blessed. We have a nice broad coalition.
It's a nice group of people that support us here in the state. I've run into many new people up there.
Wonderful. I feel so blessed.
Yeah, and I hope we can turn the state as well as
well,
the
here's
federal
the thing, and all of us running need to know that a united Republican Party is Senator Shaheen's worst nightmare. She knows it. We should know it, because if you look at the numbers, Senator, I mean, he's not up for election.
No, he isn't.
But guess what? His #1 foot soldier, Senator Shaheen, is. If you want to send a message to the president, then you vote for me. You let us take over the Senate, and we take and make that check and balance on the president's failed policies a reality.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm looking forward to doing something like that. Well, there's only one other thing that I wanted to talk about here. I had on my list. How would you handle the increase in executive orders by the president?
Well, I've already spoken out on those. I don't agree with what he's been doing, especially on Obamacare. The ability for him to change a law that was passed by Congress over and over and over, and do what he did with the DREAM Act over and over and over. The best way to handle that is to let us take over the Senate and let us get back and open up these things, because Harry Reid will never bring them up. If people are so upset about this stuff, then they can't sit on the sidelines. We have to unite our party, because it's Senator Shaheen's worst nightmare. We have to work together. And I've told, listen, I'm running against 2 good guys, Bob and Jim. Have a tremendous amount of respect for them and their supporters, regardless of who wins. If it's me, I'm hopeful they'll come right over and support me. If I don't prevail, I'm going to come right over and support them, because unified, we win. Divided, we lose. Whether it's you, so we need to help, obviously, take over the state capitol in Concord. We need to take over the United States Senate. We need to increase the numbers, and then make sure that we can be that check and balance, not a rubber stamp. And if you're tired, if you're at a bar, you're at a restaurant, you're in your gym, you're in your family room, and you're talking and you're complaining, stop complaining. Get involved in my campaign, whoever else's campaign that helps unite our party, because there's room for all of us.
Do you think this lawsuit that the House is...
I think it sends a message.
It sends a message. Do you think it could be successful?
Well, there's a lot of challenges going on. You saw what the Supreme Court did with the president's nominees in the NLRB. You have other instances where the courts have said, you know what, it's not happening. We don't agree with what the president's doing. So it's a good start. I wish they had done it earlier, because some of these issues, I think, are so
complex.
Well, not complex. They're so important to our country and our freedoms, our rights and freedoms. I think it's so critically important to protect those.
Okay, so it's not just a political game at the
I don't think they do stuff for this. In this instance, they recognize that a lot of what the president's doing is outside the bounds of his authority. We have 3 equal branches. Not one who's in charge. We have 3 equal branches. That's what our founding fathers wanted, to have that check and balance, and that is an opportunity to be that check.
Now, it's not just the number, it's the type of orders that he's giving. I mean, they're trying to compare it to previous presidents and how many
well,
executive
he's changing
orders.
major policy.
That's right.
They ran through Obamacare, through reconciliation, make sure that I couldn't stop it. And then when I got there, they voted against every ability, every grandfathering, every way. They say, oh, we want to fix it. No, they don't. Because they didn't do it. They had a chance. Yeah, well, I'm writing a letter to Senator Sheen says, I'm writing a letter to this. Listen, you should have read the bill. If you didn't read the bill, then shame on you. If you did read the bill and you passed it, shame on you.
Yeah. Well, it's, it seems like these so-called phony problems that the president's having, all he does is say, we'll investigate it. You never hear any
No accountability. He hasn't fired anybody. Look at Fast and Furious, Benghazi, the IRS scandal.
What's happening? Have enough fingers.
I don't have enough fingers. Thank you. I'll just stop right now.
No, but I mean, what happens? Why aren't people really upset about it?
They are upset.
Instead of saying, well, some of the people are saying, oh, that's just forget about it.
The people that I speak with, they're upset. They want to.
I'm upset
They want to
too.
get involved, like you and others have gotten involved. They either run for political office, they're supporting people running for office. They recognize that we have a moment in time to do a redo, to be able to take back the Senate and be that check and balance and unite our party, which once again is Senator Shaheen's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And I would implore everybody to come on out after the primary.
Good. Well, we'll get these interviews out on YouTube and see if that brings out anybody.
All right, good.
At the end of the tape, you'll find your information so that people can contact you or your staff and volunteer.
Yeah, scottbrown.com. We have fun.
There you go.
Smile. We enjoy having a good time by meeting people and spreading our message.
And I hope your truck lasts.
Yeah, it shakes them. Anyway, I didn't want to go there.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
we
Carl.
enjoyed
Good
this
luck to you
interview.
too.
Thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.